What does it take to install Graph Tech Hexpander MIDI on a guitar? My name is Max, you're watching Max Solo Music, and we're about to find out. Why do I want to install the Hexpander in the first place? Well, I was thinking about putting it into this guitar for a couple of years, and it already has Graph Tech ghost saddles. So literally half of the job is already done. I only need to put the board in, connect everything, and I'm good to go. But I never had a reason good enough to actually do that, until now. The thing is, I'm preparing for an upcoming show, and I came to the point that I will have to use this machine, the Roland GR55. And in order to utilize all of its power, I will need either the GK3 pickup or this thing. So the time has come. The Hexpander comes in multiple different sets with different contents. I'm using this one. You can get it from Tom for €299. That is including VAT, so if you're in the UK, the price probably is going to be different. And in the States, you can get it from Sweetwater for $252.49. That's an interesting number. I have no clue how taxes apply to people from different states. If you are in the US, you definitely are more knowledgeable about this than I am. I'll give you links to some of these kits and some other stuff I use in this video in the description below, and if you purchase anything either from Sweetwater or Tomon using those links, I will get a small commission at no additional cost to you. That greatly supports my channel, so if you're using my links, I really appreciate that. According to the installation instructions that come with the Hexpander, the procedure is fairly simple. Just drill a hole in your guitar, put everything in, connect all the wires, and you're good to go. The problem is that this is not an ordinary guitar. This is a custom build, and there is so much going on inside that it's gonna be tricky to drill a hole in it and not to hit some wire or something else. And I don't have an X-ray machine, but I do have blueprints which I've drawn back in 2013 or 2014, and I was thinking about placing the Hexpander somewhere maybe here, if only I find a way to drill a hole big enough and take all that wood out without destroying the rest of the guitar. And then the output connector might be placed somewhere around here if there's enough space, if that module is not in the way, and the cover then would need to be extended. I would say let's take a look at the actual guitar and figure out if that would be possible. So, this is the part of the guitar I was talking about earlier, and the output connector might fit in here if I remove the plate, although it's kind of tight here already and there's a laser module inside. The other board should probably fit in here, theoretically, although there's another laser module in here. If I remove these, you will see two holes where laser modules are installed. I can turn them on. And I think the best thing I can do is to take them out and measure them to find out how much space they actually take. Alright, as you can see, I've taken the guitar apart completely, and I've also came to the conclusion that placing the Hexpander inside of this triangle is not necessarily the best idea, because if I make a Swiss cheese out of it, it's not going to be particularly stable, and it already has enough holes inside of it. But I found another place for it, here inside of the battery block cavity. I will be extending it into that direction, so there will be no additional hole visible from the outside. The problem is that I don't have the right tool for the operation. I don't have the right router bit. And because I'm in Germany, I cannot just go and buy one, because first of all, stores are closed on Sundays, which is completely fucked up. And second, you cannot just buy normal things like router bits in a store. You have to order them from who knows where, probably from China. I could drive to Poland, which is 1.5 hours from here, and just go into a normal store and buy them. But I have another plan. Instead, I will be designing and 3D printing the cover for the output connector. And meanwhile, router bits are ordered and will be here in an unspecified period of time, so we'll get to the drilling part when they arrive. Hopefully before the show I'm building this guitar for will be taking place. I've discovered 3D printing a few years ago when I was designing and building this guitar. I needed some custom parts and the only way to produce them was to 3D print them. It actually was a lot of fun. Today, in 2021, 3D printers are widely available and are not expensive at all. And when it comes to 3D design, it's good to feel that years spent at the university were not completely wasted. This cover is a fairly simple 3D object, and it is quick and easy to put it together. And here are some more parts I've designed for this guitar a few years ago. I usually prefer to double check the objects in the Windows 3D viewer before printing them. After that, the object is imported into the slicer software, and the time estimation for the 3D print is 44 minutes, which is not bad at all. My 3D printer is probably cheaper than most regular printers cost nowadays, but it does the job, and it definitely was a good investment. The time estimation is usually accurate, and after 44 minutes, it's done. Alright, my router bits have arrived. Let's take a look. Yeah, this looks about right. And this is the other one that I'll be using. Good. Time for destruction. Let's go drill some holes. Needless to say, routers are extremely powerful tools of destruction. They can quickly get out of control, and it's intimidating. I can imagine many people will not feel particularly comfortable about using something like this just to make a hole in their guitars. With that said, there are safer ways to do that. It's just me overcomplicating things again. If you have never worked with a router before, you probably should not use a guitar as the first thing to practice your routing skills on. I should probably say don't try this at home, because it can be quite dangerous. I'm done with the first part, and I'm happy with how it looks, just the way I wanted it. It's not the cleanest and most perfect job ever, but it doesn't need to be. It is perfectly sufficient as it is, because the Hexpander board fits inside nicely. Wait. Yes. Such as you can't even see it from the outside. That's how it was supposed to be. Right, and for the second part, I have 3D printed the plate instead of the original metal plate, because this one also needs to accommodate a switch. Later I'll tell you what it does. And it will go into the guitar right here. And that is going to be the easy part, because all I need to do is to follow the instructions in the manual. So now I'm gonna go and drill this other hole in my guitar. Okay, the drilling part is done, and again, this does not need to be particularly beautiful or clean. It just needs to be a hole big enough to fit the output connector, and there's going to be a cover on top of it. Speaking of which, I wasn't entirely happy with it, so I slightly modified it and 3D printed it again. And I'm ready to put it together. Almost there. It took me a couple of days to put all the things back to where they belong, but now that everything is finally connected, I can focus on installing the Hexpander and the output connector. These wires are coming from the piezo pickups in the bridge. They are numbered and they go this way. They need to reach the Hexpander board inside of this cavity. And for that, I'll be using two extension cables, 1 and 2. Normally, I would be connecting the piezo pickups wires right to the board. So here's the first string, it goes here to the connector numbered 1. and the silver wire is on the right, the blue wire is on the left, which is the ground, and so on up until the 6th string. Instead, I'll be connecting piezo pickups to the extension in the same order. So my first string will be on the red side of the extension. Okay, done. And now I will connect the other end of the extension to the board, keeping in mind that my first string comes on the red side of the cable. Good. Now the output board needs to be connected, and there's only one way this cable can go in. Now I can put it in. And yeah, I didn't do anything about this switch because I'll connect it later when I'll make sure that everything else works as expected. Same here, there is only one way this cable can be connected to the board. Done. Okay, I would say let's try it. That's the moment I've been waiting for.